Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Recently I shared a video on how to make these chains, and today I'm going to show you how to add beads to them. And if you've not seen that video, I've linked it in the description box. I'm going to start with the small chain, and you'll also need a 14 gauge aluminium wire, 3 8mm pearl beads, and it is absolutely fine to use a different color bead and wire. And I'm using a standard chain nose pliers and a bent chain nose pliers, a nylon jaw pliers and a flush cutter, also a round nose pliers, and 8 inches of 20 gauge wire. I'm using copper aluminium. So I'm just going to straighten the wire with the nylon jaw pliers. Next I'm using the chain nose pliers to make a bend, a small bend at the very tip of the wire. And then I'm going to place it between the jaws of the chain nose pliers and squeeze it down. Then I'm trimming a small piece of that bend off, and this is going to take the place of an head pin. Next you want to place your bead onto the wire like this. So I'm just going to use a marker to mark exactly where I'm going to make the loops on the round nose pliers. Next you are going to place the wire between the barrels of the pliers like this, and you are going to bend it away from you. Then place the pliers just above the bend and bring the tail of the wire over the pliers and readjust your pliers, then take the wire to the other side. So you are going to use your chain nose pliers to hold on to the loop, or you can use your flat nose pliers, and you are going to start wrapping the wire around until you see a small gap between the wire and the bead, and that is where you are going to trim the excess wire. Then use your chain nose pliers to squeeze that end down. So next you are going to wrap 2 more beads, except for these beads you are going to wrap both ends. So you are going to make a bend at the 1 inch mark on the wire. Then you are going to place the pliers behind the bend and take the tail of the wire over the barrel of the pliers while readjusting your pliers, and then bring that tail to the other side. So next you are going to use your chain nose pliers to hold on to the loop like that, and you are going to wrap the tail around the end, the longer end of the wire. Then slide your bead onto the wire. Then place the wire between the barrels of your round nose pliers like this and bend it away from you like so. Then you're going to make another wrap at the top of the bead. So you are going to wrap until there's a small gap between the bead and the wire, and that is where you are going to trim the excess wire. Then use your chain nose pliers to squeeze it down. And you are going to wire wrap the other bead just the same. Next, I'm going to use this marker and the 14 gauge aluminium wire to make a single ring, and I'm just going to wrap it around once, like so. Then you are going to use the back of the flush cutter to cut the ring flush, like I'm doing. So next I'm going to locate the middle of the chain, and I'm just going to open one of the links to separate it. So right here I'm placing both beside each other, and I'm going to measure to make sure that I've got the exact same length on both sides, excluding the clasp. So next you are going to connect your necklace, and you are going to use your pliers to open the ring. Then place your beads onto the ring, and be sure to have the bead with the eye pin in the middle. And next you are going to connect one of the chain to the bead on the left and the other to the bead on the right. So moving on to the next necklace, and I'm going to use 14 of the oval jump rings and a flush cutter. I'm using 6 beads. I'm using these ones. You can use whatever color or shape that you'd like. A row nose pliers, a standard chain nose pliers, and a bent chain nose pliers, and 18 inches of 20 gauge copper aluminium wire, and also this nylon draw pliers. So you don't have to use the exact same color wire that I'm using or wire that I'm using. Providing it is the same gauge, then it is fine. So I'm using the back of the flush cutter to trim the wire flush. And next you are going to use your round nose pliers to make a simple loop. Then I'm just using the nylon jaw pliers to straighten the other end of the wire. And then you are just going to slide the bead on like so. Then use your round nose pliers to center the wire like so. And you want to have both loops on the bead laying flat. So be sure to have the loop pointing down like so, then bend the tail of the wire away from you. Then place the wire between the barrels of the pliers like so, and bring the tail of the wire over the barrel of the pliers. Then adjust your pliers and take the tail to the other side. And you are going to trim the excess wire as I'm doing. So you are going to make 6 of these. And I'm going to use the 2 chain nose pliers to put the chain together. So guys, this is 2 easy and simple ways that you can add beads to the overall chains. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.